it's good to be back. Objectivity never has a greater Phoenix metaphor been personified in human history. Therefore, if I'm saying anything, is welcome back to the Stark Expo. It's good to be back.
Hell yeah, it is.
Yes, sir. Good to
Hold
be
on.
back.
We'll get back to that point.
Yo, why do I think it was a debate, man? I think I was watching the Bomani Jones interview,
Okay.
or like I was listening to a Bomani Jones podcast, and he was like, man, 1990. You was talking about 1994, and he was like, it was like talking about Illmatic came out in 1994. You know,
94.
no, they was like talking about Illmatic, and he was like, not only is it not the greatest album of all time,
Oh my goodness.
he said it's not even the greatest album released in 1994. So of course, you listen to the podcast, you like, what is he about to say? You know, what's better than Illmatic? And he's like, Ready to Die. Since then, you know how it's like, you know the answer to something, but when somebody put a question in your head, you kind of like start thinking like, damn. So yeah, recently I've just been kind of going back and forth with them two albums.
It's a strong year.
But man,
It's a strong year.
that's a strong year.
It's a strong year.
That's
Like I remember, that's the year for me. That's the year for me where like everything changed. What they say on the Jizza when he was like, that was the moment everything changed off the Jizza intro.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the year everything changed for me in terms of like my listening taste, right?
Mm-hmm. It was 96 for me.
My brother, one of my guys in the neighborhood, his name was Virgil, called him Shabug. You know, you get them hood names or whatever.
Right.
He had his older brother name was Eddie. I only know him as Eddie Bo. I don't know if that was dude's real name, but I know him as Eddie Bo, right? Damn. DJ, I think too. I think Eddie B Easy was like his DJ name.
Right.
He was early. Nas. Nah, he telling me and Shabug like Nas. It's 94. And I'm like, I don't even want to hear that new Jack shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we was just listening like, you gotta think 94, man, especially around there, it was just like
West Coast.
it might have been like, yeah, it was 100%. And then you had to like, you know, we from the city. So like MJ and G and A-Ball was popping. Top Authority was popping.
Easy, yeah.
There's a lot of things as it was like on the like we was getting E40 early, obviously that's still the West Coast, but like
yeah, we was bumping.
It was like that was making its way into you know the tape decks at the time, right? Where it was like there was no way like I you know I appreciate and I love Tribe Called Quest, but I wasn't mentioning that with the people I was around. Like
it was already over for them by that point, right? It was kind of already.
I think they still, because I was about to say, because I think they still was like right in the peak. I think right after that, because I think this is where they dropped like Low End Theory or whatever the last one was.
They had just dropped Midnight Marauders in '93, the previous year, so and they was on the cusp of dropping Beats, Rhymes, and Life. Yeah, it was kind of like
Beats, Rhymes, and Life. The one with like, I want to know when to be stressed out. Yeah, that joint. Yeah, that was
Consequence
okay,
first.
That was late.
I'm still trying to get these Reebok kicks for Shorty Boo. Like what? That was kind of dope though. That's my
joint right there.
That's a slept on track. You know what I mean?
That shit come on, man, that shit get played. And they don't get skipped. I love that joint
easily.
But that wasn't at the level. That album wasn't. And I loved it, but it wasn't at the level of the top, the 3 to 4.
No,
3 to 4 just sitting.
Midnight Marauders was my favorite hip hop. Like my favorite. You talking about like my favorite album?
Your favorite
Midnight Marauders might be my favorite album.
Yeah, I could. Man,
like, I'm just in terms of just. I could just you turn it on. I can listen to it all the way through over and over again. God. That's up there, bro. That's one of my favorite. That's easily in my top 3.
This 94 release, and this is so like 94. So like right after that, Eddie Bo, he kept saying, Illmatic, Nas is next. It's almost like when Premier scratched that shit, like Nas. It's like he was saying what Eddie B got that from Eddie B, because Eddie B was telling me Nas is next.
They tell you about Nas on Midnight Marauders, though. Remember that Large Professor was like,
that's Professor's guy. That's Professor's guy. So then I had a summer job. So I'm like 16, 15, something like that.
15.
One of the older guys, they was going to college, but they was just, but they took a liking to me. I was silly, you know what I'm saying? They took a liking to me. So one guy gave me they thought I was cool enough to be like talking to the younger fella because I'm a young fella. They out there, they going to BW3s on Tuesdays, right? They at that age, right? That was something back then.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
College night,
Short Vine,
Short Vine. That's where they was going. Yeah. Like they was of that era.
Yeah, my favorite place in the world.
That was a good era, man. Short Vine. That time. So they, but he was place. Yeah. He played the knock because he kept saying it, and I really wasn't trying to hear it. Right, like my man, his name started with a T. I wish I could remember his name, but it was a couple of those dudes. They was going to like Central State. That was that era. That was that era, bro. You had to be outside. You had to be outside then. They was going to Central State, so that was like that era. I say all that to say this. He gave me a ride home one time. I was catching the bus or whatever. Yeah. He specifically was going to give me a ride home that day to check out that Nas album. Changed everything. My whole ear changed. Like, this is the greatest shit I've ever heard in my life. Now, mind you, I'm still young, but nothing's topped it. I don't think. And if now, because now I got to think about that list. But at the end of the day, that changed my whole ear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, changed my whole ear. So it's like, then I started being able to appreciate like Wu-Tang. I don't even know if I would have been able to appreciate Hove at the time because I was in my neighborhood. I was early on Hove. Not saying I was early on niggas for real, but in my neighborhood, I was early on Hove. Right? I don't even know if I'd have been able to take all that stuff in, man. If I didn't listen to Illmatic. I never listened to Illmatic and listened to it like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance. And by the time I got out of that car, that verse we just said before we started recording. Because that was the last song. Nas's rap should be locked in the cell. It ain't hard to tell. I was done. It was over. Changed everything for my listening.
Need not to sneak.
Man,
my poetry deep, it never fell. Nas's rap should be locked in the cell. It ain't hard to tell.
That was the greatest thing I had ever heard. And it was just like, nah. And then I was the champion. Still is to this day when I say Nas, right? But like, nah, that. Yeah, so when he say now, I'm looking at this 94. Outkast dropped. I can.
Yeah. Just name them off, man. Just name them off because I got the list up.
Okay.
You said Outkast. We got Hard to Earn. Sorry.
Hard to Earn came out. Yeah.
I remember that too. I remember that album cover. Like you said, Southern Playlist.
One of my favorites. So before you go.
No, go ahead.
One of my favorite songs of all time is on Hard to Earn. That's Mass Appeal.
Easily one of my favorite songs.
It's one of my favorite songs of all time. Like it still rang off.
We play music.
Mass Appeal.
That's an entire episode. Just music.
Mass Appeal is one of my favorite. God, I love that song. Like even now.
What did he play that in the verses? I'm trying to think when he dropped that in the verses. Because he didn't start off with Mass Appeal. He kind of like when he went over against RZA, I think he dropped that like at the midway point. That shit, man. That's probably my favorite.
He say
that's my favorite Gang Starr song. Absolutely.
The little show he do on YouTube when he get the story behind them kind of albums, right? Them songs.
Yeah.
And he like that's the one. Like when that one, everybody go crazy at the show. Like that's. God, I love Mass Appeal. But go ahead. My bad. I ain't mean to sidetrack.
I'm thinking about Mass Appeal. I remember I saw the breakdown behind that, and just how simple that like he took that from I forgot what he said he sampled that from. But let me continue with this list real quick. Damn, Mass Appeal. That shit hard. You got Tikal from Method Man. Which I kind of like.
94. That was
man, like Method Man albums kind of blend together for me. But yeah,
that's a fact. That
was Tikal. Yeah,
that was 94.
That was the first Tikal album. All right. Then you got Scarface with The Diary.
Yep. Damn. That was one that had Mary Jane on it, wasn't it?
Did
The Diary have Mary Jane?
I think The Diary did have Mary Jane.
I know it had Jesse James on there. I believe it had Mary Jane. It definitely had Jesse James.
Mm-hmm. You had There Is a Dark Side, Redman. This prime Reggie.
That's prime Reggie.
Hold on.
They don't get mentioned, man.
Shit, nah, he don't enough. And I'm
Reggie
trying to
don't
think,
get
is that his
mentioned,
second
man.
or third album? I think it's
that
his
was
second
the
album.
second. That's the second album because his first one had his first one was like when he did the first Dr. Love or whatever that, you know, he always did that.
He got that crazy ass skit on there where he be like, nigga, we got boosted. He's like, it's the craziest, the bricks, baby. It's New Jersey.
Yeah, because his first one was the one with Time for Some Action.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was his first one. Second one, that Darius and Dark Side. Like cats used to get mad at me because you got to think around now we get to this time. So I was outside here. Like how these little dudes is outside now.
Yeah.
I was outside then, and I was the guy. So now I'm feeling myself and being able to talk about the stuff I told you. Nas changed everything. He changed everything for me, right? So I had the confidence to talk about music. But now, mind you, at this point in time, there's probably not a person in the world that was black, because you know they had a bunch of white fans. There was a Wu-Tang fan than I was. I mean, I have a guy, I'm sitting here with the cash rules on all the lights not showing in my mug right here. But at that time, so now they're my guys. And now I'm a big Meth guy. Now, Meth at this a little bit later, because I think it was 95, but he didn't showed up on the Tupac album. Like, Meth is my guy.
Yeah.
Like, it was like Wu-Tang and Meth was my guy, right? But Cash used to come at me like, hey, man, it's Red Man, bro.
Yeah.
It's Red. And it was like, you kind of right.
Yeah.
Because at that time, it was about rhyming, right? Yeah. And it was like, Meth got a style, but Reggie got them bars, man. His bars might be tougher, man.
Reggie that was nasty with it, bro.
I would argue with cats, but once they got to the, because we used to argue then. There was a debate. First Take ain't start that. We started that talking about this shit back then. And Reggie would be the guy when I would talk about Meth. Every time, no matter what. Like if somebody wanted to close the case, they just bring up Reggie Noble. What could I say?
Damn. What else we got? So we got we got Resurrection Common. Very underrated album.
Yes.
This is how I discovered Common in 1994. Because I think on this, let me just take a look at this track list just to make sure. This is I Used to Love Her, right?
I Used to Love Her was that one. That was I Used to Love Her.
And I think there was one he had a video with Lauryn Hill, right?
That was the next album.
That was the next album.
That was the next album.
Damn. I Used to Love Her was.
I Used to Love Her, man. Did it.
A couple niggas had did it in the park.
You know what's funny? I just thought about this. I could do a story about every one of these.
Right.
That's when I was working at Lazarus, right?
Lazarus.
And every time, you know, I was outside. I was outside.
Now known as Macy's. Yes.
I was outside.
So he was working at Lazarus. Damn.
You know, so this is the time, like I told you, I just was meeting, just getting mad, different cool. Like I said, my personality, because my personality wasn't the one, like, even doing this is like a opening up for me, right? Like I'm not really a want to talk on the mic kind of person, but I like doing this, right? It's opening me up a little bit. Back then, like if I knew you, I'd talk to you. If I ain't know you, I wasn't talking to you. Like I didn't even have that technology to do it. Nas album helped that out, right? Because I could talk, you talk music, you talk to anybody. So I started like I worked at Lazarus, so now I'm starting to, I'm the youngest guy there, right? But they always hit me with my headphones, you know, you got a CD player, like I'm listening to something. So that always started a conversation. We talking about stuff, and we start talking about Common Sense to Resurrection. We talk about I Used to Love Her. It was a guy at the job that was his shit. And he broke it down to me about the song, about what he was talking about was hip hop. And I was like, nigga, I already knew that. Line like a mother. And I was like, damn, he talking about hip hop. It was like that. Now I hate it when I ain't give him his props, his flowers when he told me that. Like he put me on.
Yep.
I knew that. So I was like, oh, that's right. He talking about hip hop.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, it's hip hop.
Like the entire song, the girl was hip hop. Like I was cool with it when I thought it was a girl for real. Oh,
easily could have just been about a girl, right? Like he could have been like, yeah, because you know, shit, relationships go through that type of stuff, right? Like they play out like that.
I thought the Aries was the metaphor for the girl, but no, the girl was the metaphor for the man,
the giant
greatest. I ain't even give him his flowers even later. I just kept on to that one. Like I already knew, knowing I ain't know, knowing I ain't
thinking, man. Looking around like this nigga talking about this about hip hop. You know?
That's how I played him too.
I knew that.
You might have said it in front of a girl or something. I was like, I already know that.
You gotta play it off like, yeah.
Knowing I ain't know.
Easily.
Yeah, that was a dope.
Damn. Thug Life came out that year. Now, I'm gonna be honest.
Go ahead.
I probably this is Thug Life, and I see Funkdafied from the Brat is probably on it. I probably heard those two albums more than any at the time because they was probably bumping them albums in the hood.
Oh, Pac got played.
Pac got
played.
All his tracks on Thug Life got played.
I feel like when Thug Life came out, it came out, or I remember when I bought it because I had a job. I bought it like it was like 3 albums I bought that day. And in my mind, I had bought Thug Life.
Damn.
Might have been like it might have been Thug Life. It might have been E40 album.
It's a big week.
It was a big week. It was a Furious big week. I bought like 3 albums. I think they all
you
dropped
bought 3 albums in '94. This is a big week.
Yeah, and I felt like it was like an E40. It was 2 other people that dropped. It might have been like I can't remember. But it was 3 albums I bought, and I was like, oh shit, and they all slapped. Thug Life had Straight Ballin', right?
Straight Ball, classic song, bro. Yeah, classic track, Straight Ballin'. I think he ended the album with that, didn't he?
It was the last one on there. It was the last song.
I would share the definition of balling with your wife.
Oh man, nothing I ever heard in '94 got played more than that. Oh, Keith Murray dropped.
You want to talk about another underrated? I don't even know what to say underrated. Murray was spit, bro.
Man, Keith Murray dropped with the
which one was
beautifulest thing in the world?
Was that the most beautifulest thing?
Yeah.
Most thing in the world. That's tough, man.
Big Mike dropped. See, that would have been my number 1 album back in the day. Something serious from what was he down with? When he down with he's down with the Ghetto Boys.
Yeah. Damn.
Man, Funkdafied, Black.
Shout out to Rap-A-Lot. God damn.
Shout out to Rap-A-Lot. I don't know if this I'm looking at this and I see I'm on the site where he got the top 40.
Yeah.
But I felt like I should
because
look further.
Fugees dropped their debut album this year. I remember Blunted on Reality, but I don't remember because I mean, of course, the score is like what we remember, but I didn't know that. I didn't know they debut dropped 2 years, in '94, 2 years previous 2 years.
So Craig Mack dropped.
Yeah, big year for Bad Boy. Damn, Bad Boy came out.
Hell, Master P, Ghetto's Trying to Kill Me dropped. You know, one I had in my mind that I knew had to drop was and it's not on there, but it says honorable mention, the Above the Rim soundtrack.
Is that on there?
Yeah, it's on an honorable mention. It's not one of the top 40, but it was like Spice One, America's Nightmare dropped.
Again, that probably got played.
Definitely got played.
That shit got played in Cincinnati.
I felt like where I was at when I bought the Thug Life album, that Spice One was the other album, one of the other albums that I had copped that day.
We got also on here was you said Above the Rim. Think about that. That's the one that had So Much Pain, right? But it was like unreleased. It was like
you had to have the tape. You had to see. So if you had this, that was the era that if you got the CD, you didn't have Pain, right? You didn't have Pain. If you got the tape had Pain. It had 3 songs. It was 3 songs at the end. Yeah. Pain was the first one.
I can't help but notice your pain. My pain. If you sampled the Star Trek movie, bro.
For real.
That was off what was the Star Trek was that? Like the Next Frontier, I think. It was like the penultimate Star Trek with the original cast. It was like the one before the last one.
Okay.
It's taken from a scene where it's like the last scene of the movie is taken from that. Can't help but notice your pain. My pain. It runs deep. Share it with me.
So I totally was just I was lying. It was another Tupac song, Loyal to the Game, but it had like Tretch.
Me Against the World came out in what, 95 or 94?
95. Ooh. Why do I want to believe that was 94?
I want to say that was 94 because he came out. No, it was 95. It was 95 because he came out with All Eyes on Me and Michael Vance in 96.
96.
That's
both
of them was 96,
3-year
run, bro.
Both of them was 96, and then Biggie was 97.
Damn.
Okay.
That's a
So I'm
great
like, I
run.
need to. That's a weird thing about this year. This year, this 94 in particular,
Mhm.
because it feel like the Wu-Tang album came out in 93, but it feel like it's a 94 album, right?
Yeah.
It's a 93 album. Feels like 94. And some of the stuff in 95 feel like it was 94. It kind of like all blend in together.
Yeah.
It was just like at the same time. Obviously it wasn't. Yeah, I don't think Ready to Die was because he got J. Rule.
Yeah,
Yeah,
J.
that-
Rule,
Damager.
that was the Sunrises in the East.
Yep.
Gravediggers, 6 Feet Deep. Now, hold on. Gravediggers was that a Wu crew?
That
Like
was a Wu,
affiliated?
yeah.
Okay,
That was I feel like RZA and then Prince Paul from Prince Paul was the man back then. He was that one producer dude. His guys was De La Soul.
Got you.
De
Yeah.
La
Okay.
Soul, De La Soul.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm surprised De La Soul ain't got an album.
Yeah, they should be.
They might have been like, this might have been the time they might have been dope like 90, 91, 92, 88, 89.
It was already, yeah.
This might have been over.
They might have been over in like 91.
Something like that. You know, Pac
Like
was at that
what is
time.
it? I know they got an album called like The Death of De La Soul, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or De La Soul is dead, something like that. They was
De La
already
Soul
out
is
of
dead. That's
it was kind of like,
exactly
yeah.
what it is. That's
They had already
exactly
passed the
yeah.
They already kind of passed towards the
Yeah, that was the reason. It was stuff like that made me not want to check out the Nas album, right? So there's like I can go back and listen to some De La Soul from earlier, but if you're talking like when I'm for real listening, we get into like 92, 93, 94, when I'm like, okay, I'm really forming my own taste, like for real. It's like I couldn't even like Cool J, like I can't listen to Jiggling Baby. Like I'm not with everybody else making like, you know, Spice One, Ghetto Boys.
Yeah,
Dre and Snoop,
MJG.
they making way harder stuff, right? I can't listen to Jiggling Baby and be like, that's just how I felt at the time. And that's why, like, oh, Nas, where you coming out of? Okay, man, I ain't really trying to hear none of that shit, man. Father MC, like, I wasn't trying to hear that. Did you get what I'm saying? Like, at that time, like if I go back, I wasn't trying to
be
hear
treated
that,
right.
man.
Check Father MC.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, I even think Kane was making like that kind of stuff at that point in time, right? Like,
yeah,
man. Kane is a little earlier than me. Now, I can go back and listen to some dope Kane, but 92, 93, you know, I get the job done. He was doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? That might have been break beats, but like, it was just a lot of that.
Shit,
it was a lot of like that New Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like if we watched,
watched tough.
Yeah, More Money, More was that More Money? What was the movie with Damon Wayans and them More Money, More Problems or something like that?
This nigga Damon Wayans, but I mean we ain't gonna go off on a tangent. But More Money, More Money. Oh, because he had like, More Money with him and that was him and
his younger brother, and then like Stacey Dash.
Yeah.
Like some of that, a lot of that music would sound like it would need to be in that soundtrack. You know, like I ain't trying to hear that. But like,
well, they had the dude sing. They had an R&B male or female on the hook. You got it. Yeah, it's me. See, I'm coming out. That's like, you know what movie I'm pulling that from too. Remember? Okay, I give you a perfect example of where it's like every rapper in the game is in the fucking movie, but the soundtrack was kind of like, was it Who's the Man? Ed Lover and Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yeah, I ain't never actually seen that,
like,
but
I think Pepper was in the movie.
They had a lot. They had everybody.
They had a lot of that. Like,
you got it.
You got it. You got it. Like,
oh man.
Man. Yeah, that shit. Yeah, man. Nah. You couldn't compete with 1, 2, 3 into the 4.
Oh,
like,
you can't.
You couldn't compete, bro.
Like I'm looking like this, like Heavy D. Like Heavy D was probably, rest in peace, was probably that dude, but he was up in that time
where I couldn't and shit. Come on, bro.
Rest in peace to Heavy D, man.
Hey, Heavy D was young too, bro.
Yeah,
Heavy D, I think would have been like 55 today or something, bro.
Something like that. It just
like a young guy.
That wasn't for me.
Nah.
And meaning like there was no way I could listen to that, like you say.
Yeah.
And it was Dre Day, and
Nah,
all
dude.
that shit that was happening. It was just like, nah, I couldn't get
Excuse my
involved.
language, right? Just ain't, but I can't even say the hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couldn't compete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But X on these. You couldn't
Oh
compete, bro.
man,
You couldn't compete. The Chronic.
if that shit
Yeah,
played, man,
Chronic
that's
coming
one of
out
my favorite.
92.
The hook you can't say is one of my favorite songs. Every time, like I got my playlist,
What's the
and
list
like
name?
my
Yeah.
one that come on from the Chronic, the one where
I used to know.
I used to always listen to like Stranded on Death Row.
Yeah,
that was like the one from back then. But like my one now is it started off, that shit hit hard. It got Rage start off at the beginning, and then it's Corrupt. I drop bombs like Hiroshima. No, that ain't. That's the next song. Not that song. It's Robin is rocking, bringing them down on the. What song is that, man? Damn, High Powered.
Was
that on? Shit ain't even got a hook. The Chronic. It ain't even got a hook. It's just Robin Rage go first.
Yep.
Corrupt, and then RBX finish it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh man, that get me every time.
There was no comparison,
that was
bro.
I pick up dust as I'm getting the bus on the knickknacks. Because you can't trust, but and they just start going. I'll be like, oh man. Like I said, I could listen to Jingling Baby when that was out.
Nah, big Jingling Baby.
Yeah, I couldn't listen to that, man. Yeah. I couldn't listen to that. So yeah, that's just what that was in 94, man. That
94,
was just
man.
But
damn.
Back to the original thing, like nah. It may be two, but man, honestly, I think I can make a case, and I don't even think I need to make a case that Southern Playalistic was probably a better album.
I think so. I think so. We did a top, we doing the top 5. I got Southern.
What's your top 5?
Playalistic kind of music.
You ain't got to get an order yet. You could just name the 5 and then get into the order.
I would just honestly ask anybody, like, you really think that Ready to Die is a better album? Like,
all you gotta do is ask that question, right? Like, do you
is it a better album? Like,
is it better than Illmatic? No. And if the next question is, do you think Ready to Die is a better album than Southern Playalistic?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I'm being honest.
I don't think it is.
Especially when you got tracks like the original "Give Me One More Chance," where they had the
remix on there.
Superior remix wasn't.
If the remix was, you can replace that.
You put that with you put
that on the album and take the one off and then put that one on. Because that remix is a jazz festival, 90s jazz festival special. That rang off at the Jazz Fest.
And it had a video.
That's when you go to the Jazz Fest and you just in the streets, right? I ain't going in. But I was outside and that rang off the whole summer. I think that and Bone. The second Bone album might have been the third Bone album when you really, really think about it. But yeah. The third Bone when they came out, not the first of the month one, the next one that had Crossroads.
1990. Yeah. Whose one was that? I never was a Bone fan though, bro.
Not a Bone fan either, but
yeah.
But
never was a fan
they had,
of them
but being, I'll never forget walking downtown and every car from Detroit walking back, riding, because there's a lot of Detroit dudes coming down to the Jazz Fest.
Damn, bro, them different times.
Yeah, I think that would need to be. I think that would need to be on that album.
That's what I was saying. I was like that, and that was always the where I was. Well, the point I was hitting where I was like, nah, you can't have that album on there and they claim that's better than Illmatic. Like it's not even close. Because this remix was just so much better. I mean, he was spitting on the original one, but nah, bro. Nah. I would say it's the third best album of 1994.
Oh, so I think I got, looking at this list without forgetting anything or overlooking anything. I think I go Biggie. No, I'm sorry. I go Illmatic. I go Southern Playalistic. I go Ready to Die. I go Hard to Earn.
Yo, that's tough.
Mm.
Ooh,
Then
I got to listen to
there's
There's a Dark Side again, bro. It's been a minute.
I do too, because I feel like I got to go with my personal, because how much I played Thug Life, man. It's hard for me. I played the J. Rule album as I got older more, right? But in 1994, 95, that time period, man, I played Thug Life a lot. So it's hard for me to just with a straight face keep that in my listening taste, right? And if you saw my number of times, you can look and see number of times played.
Yeah.
If you saw how many times something was played, and if you're looking at the numbers, just from the numbers alone, I think I would have to say Thug Life. I'm not ready to do that yet because it's hard for me just to exclude
one of my favorite albums, bro.
Sure. If this would have been the next Scarface album, even though I like this album a lot, it was dope. It was dope. That's it's hard for me not to put that on there. But the next album, The Fix, was it The Fix? It was like, okay, yeah,
damn,
I definitely.
Yeah, I think The Fix came out like the 2000s. Though.
It was later. It was after. It was basically a Rockefeller album.
Yeah, that was
basically Rockefeller South.
Kanye, Rockefeller Records.
Yeah, that's basically
early Kanye.
Damn, UGK.
Damn, 8-Ball MJG came out this year, bro. On the outside looking in. I'm pretty sure they got more banging.
Hold on. Is that what did that come out for real? 94?
Yeah. Let me see the track listing for that one.
Why don't I see it on this list?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I definitely Yeah. I remember this album, yeah. Damn. I remember I remember this one because I remember that album cover. The little Damn.
Why don't I see that on this list? I mean, who got an honorable mention and they ain't got 8-Ball on MJG from then?
Oh yeah, when you see the album cover, you're gonna be like, Breakabitch College.
Oh, that's where it was, man.
Damn, bro.
Breakabitch College was one of the best.
Damn.
Breakabitch College.
That's mean ass shit, bro. Damn.
Oh man.
94, tough year, man.
Lay It Down was on there.
Was it?
That was on the Outside Looking In album, 94. Yeah, somebody getting bumped, man.
Look it down.
Yo, this right here.
Lay it down. Is that on there for real? Because that's on there. Yeah, that moves
up. It's the final track, bro. That's how they left you.
Hold on, bro. Oh, it is.
Hey,
oh man. Yeah, bro.
When you go
8-Ball MJG,
Crumbs the Bricks was it slapped, but when you go from Breakabitch College, and they laid it out for you, man.
Lay it down.
And then they went to Lay It Down. I always said if I got married, that was gonna be the song that played. Because I was laying it down.
Lay it down. You know how many times you just at work and that song is playing in your head? Like if Lay It Down ain't playing in your head, bro. You probably was born in 2015 or something, bro. I don't know. Shit. You probably ain't, you probably was born in the 2000s.
You definitely wasn't outside.
You wasn't outside.
Hey man, lay it down. And that was the hook.
Damn.
My dude,
that's a hard ass group, bro. Two niggas just from Memphis, bro, talking that pimping shit. Man, I can't believe I missed Lay It Down as the last track, bro. I didn't even see that when I looked at it.
Yeah, I think I gotta. There's no way I can exclude that for me. There's no way I can exclude.
No, absolutely, yeah. Like I said, it's one of my favorite groups.
I'm about to listen to the album again.
Yeah,
because maybe it was a couple songs but the album didn't slap. Because I know that first one, the whole album slapped. I had to listen to the album again. But as we stand right now, there's no way I could not have. Now Biggie drops. God, September the 13th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people made a mistake dropping. I mean, 5 people made a mistake dropping when Big dropped. Kane dropped the album called Daddy's Home. I paused. I definitely want to listen to that.
Nah, B.
I know Kane one of the gods, but I know I wasn't listening to some shit called Daddy's Home. There's a Dark Side and Spice One dropped on the same day. I might have caught something
That's
earlier.
tough.
Yeah. And
Meth
that
was
the
different
album.
though.
Yeah.
Meth was different, man.
Meth was different. And that's what, like,
Meth
even
was
with that album, it was like just like the kind of the Biggie thing, right? It's like Cal dropped and it didn't have the remix, the for real, like the one they did the video for with Mary J. Blige, the All That I Need. Right. You
Wait,
see the
was that
video,
on
you
there?
like, huh?
Was that track was on there too?
It wasn't on there.
My bad.
They had a version of it.
My bad.
They had a version of it. And then when you seen the video, you was like, and it what, but that wasn't on the album.
That seemed like it happened a lot in '94. You know, Big did that. Like, oh, we just gonna make the remix the video. It's like
you had to go buy the single.
Yeah, you had to.
So you buy the album, then you got to go.
That was
buy
smart.
The single.
Yeah. That's why singles had value and shit.
Single had value, and the single's a beautiful thing about that. At that time, you get a remix, you might get another street song, and then you're gonna get an instrumental. So you know, if you was spitting, you got an instrumental, you can just go ahead and rock to.
Your single was 99 cents. Mine
$4.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Where was Hove at in '94? What do you think Hove was at? Yeah. He was back when we used to rap like the Foo Snickers. So now I said, this. I'm telling you, this is why my Hove debate I upset a lot of people when I say that. Like, man, Hove was kind of like a late bloomer. Because if we just freeze 94 and like, all right, we got to just go off of that. Nas, Big. Where do Hove fall in there, bro? When you throw in Redman and Method Man and
we can slide a couple more of it.
When you talking about you get an A, you get a Z. Then when he got to what's the meaning? Like he started to slow down a little bit. What's the meaning?
Hey, that's what then your boy used to rap like a few Snickies. Some who you kidding? Nah, I said that.
He said that back when you used to rhyme like the Foo Snickers. Because he know what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Stories by Ace of parties I'll shoot up. Like, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
up until like you say, you can realistically, you could, and hold the God. You could realistically snapshot it from, like you say, let's go 94 to 98, because that's when what's the name it took off, the volume 2, right? And that's Hove the God, but he dropped 2 albums. Wait a minute. Yeah, he did. And what that was the volume 2 was the one that was like that was the Catapult album. You know what I'm saying?
That's Prime Hove.
Yeah. Stratosphere. That's Stratosphere
Hove. I'm talking about
household name Hove.
That's Prime Hove. Not necessarily dumbed down all the way yet, but still Prime Hove, where he just was hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Volume 1 was that's not a classic album. Like that's like
you might have a place for it in your heart if you like.
Yeah, a couple people do. You know what I mean?
Devout fan, but it's not like. But you
argue with
like,
Flacco about that.
I got a couple songs, but like
you keep a few tracks, but that ain't. Come on, B. That's a mess. Yeah, Volume 1's not. I didn't really appreciate it. So the second one came out. Yeah, Volume 2.
Yeah.
Hold the God, though. Don't get it twisted. Hold the God.
No. But like you say, if you got enough to have conversations about that time, you just got to be real. Like this time we looking at.
Yeah, he was non-existent.
When you look at the pecking order, like you say, where'd you go? You get Big Nas.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang.
Because I can tell you where Nas was in '93, right? We got an idea where not like Live from the Barbecue. What was that? 92, 93?
92, 93.
I shoot slugs from my just like a rifle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. I know where people was at. I can kind of give you. We got an idea of where people was at. Where was Ghost? Where was Ray? Where was Brizzle? Where was Jizzle? Where was Meth? 94. Where was Hove?
Yeah. Showed up on Big L on the radio at the concert, right? Or Big L went on the radio, brought Hov to do a verse with him. That's where he was at that time. At that time, that's just the truth. Like he became, like you say, then he took it and ran with it. He definitely did.
I think I think the talent was there. He just had, he had to evolve, man. It happened. It happened in the NBA sometimes. It happened in any sport you think of. You got to figure it out.
Yeah, he had to figure it out. He had to come to a point where it's like, this is what I do. Right?
Yeah.
Like few people are like X, where they come out like, oh, okay, I get you.
Yeah,
I get you, brother. I know what you doing.
I get you, bro.
I know what you doing.
Right. Pun come out as you shot his dreams like Jordan. I get you.
I get you.
I get
like
you.
Nas was the I get you guy.
Yeah.
Where it's
like I got you. Yeah.
Okay. And if you look at from that time to that era, you people don't know now. They ain't out. They don't. Kids don't know now. Your video mattered then, right?
Facts.
So like the first time we see Hov, like if you see him in the video, he looked like he got big in the video.
Yeah.
I bet if he probably did that again, he probably wouldn't. Because it was almost like he was Big Son. Like if you just be personally,
you
like
got swallowed pause and shit. You got swallowed. You got pause. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You got covered. You know what I mean? You got consumed, right?
Yeah. Bet he wouldn't do that because at that time it's like, oh, you Biggs man.
Yeah. Oh, you that.
That's kind of what it looked.
It's like, oh, you're part of the commission, but big run the commission. You know what I mean? Like it would have, like you knew where it was.
Yeah.
Maybe that would have ended.
That's the thing too. Now that's a question. Like, people always throw, even to this day, they throw a Hov or people drop a line. They want to say something. Had Big not died,
he got a line that's recently, right?
Yeah.
I'll say,
whose album was that?
The commission.
Was it?
You know what I mean? It's like,
is it Ye album? Who album was that? Did he said that? I just listened to that.
I want to say that was on Push.
It was on
That's
Push.
On Push.
It was on Push. It was on Push. He's like, yeah. With Hov be in this position, if Big died, y'all would have got the commission.
That's a main line. You know what I mean? Hold on, real quick, man, because we in 30. Oh shit, damn, we are hour in already. Who? Just to recap, just for people, refresher for myself, obviously. Who's gonna be in the commission again? Because I know it was Big, Fox was in there, right?
Hov. I thought it was Charlie Baltimore.
Okay, yeah, Charlie Baltimore. I know it was a female.
I feel like that was it.
It was Big, Hov,
Charlie maybe Baltimore. The little C's have a spot. I felt like he had a spot.
I can see,
but I don't know if he was just.
He probably would have got Junior Mafia in there.
Yeah, I don't know if he just would have been like his Memphis Bleak kind of person, right? Like he would have had a spot. But I know it was, from what I remember, it was Big, Hov, Charlie Baltimore.
Y'all would have got the commission. I'm assume that I'm not gonna. I would say I would speculate like if I had to really like envision that in my mind, I would say the commission would have grew. Obviously, like the commission just wouldn't have been Charlie Baltimore. I mean, it would have probably branched out and added more people eventually. But that's still Big and Hov alone.
But in that era, what it really would have told about it though. If we could make or break it, who would have produced it? Who they would have got to have to? They would have been under the bad boy, kind of like the Hitman.
Would have been Hitman,
Hitman umbrella, or would they have a primo track? Like,
think about that,
because think about to go and it's not cohesive, like the Firm, maybe like they was doing a little Dre and they was doing a little.
That never made sense to me. That Dre,
it was too many hands. It was too many hands involved with that. Like, like at that time, that really mattered. Who was going to do the album? Like, and then it wasn't going to be cohesive. How was that going to work? It would have been dope, but just like thinking about like the easiness, how they could have threw it off. Like, we gonna sneak in because you gotta have it was no way that Big and Hov can have a commission album and the Primo don't have a track.
Yeah, just think about
at that time.
Think about what we got from Big and Hov, right? The songs that they collabed on. Think about the production. It wasn't nothing like other than like Ghetto Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't nothing that was like Because I Love the Dough was a song called. What was it called?
I love the dough. Yeah, I love the
I was like, them tracks was kind of like, yeah,
syrupy a
one
little
of the
bit.
greatest tracks. Like,
Yeah.
the shit
You
on the first one on Reasonable Doubt.
Brooklyn, Jay-Z,
Brooklyn's Finest?
Brooklyn's Finest. Shit to draws. Brooklyn.
Nah, those are hard.
Oh.
I don't lost my train of thought. That was that track was nasty. That track was nasty.
So were they gonna go that route?
Yeah, were they gonna go that route?
Because that's when you had to have your commercial, like
Mhm.
okay, maybe a more commercial side. What kind of like landscape were they gonna have with the production? Was Ski gonna be? Because Ski might not have been part of the circle anymore, getting tracks. Like you can look at that time. Like by the time they got 98, they would have probably had to have Swiss.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because it's Swiss hot.
Swiss
You
would
got-
have
Swiss was hot. Then you got we could just look at the volume 2 album, right?
Yeah,
You go Primo led the intro.
Mhm.
You got some Swiss. You got some hit was it the Hitman? It was Stevie J did the joint. I probably make more money off your album than you. That joint. Then you get some more Swiss. I think you got some Timbo.
What's up that?
They
How
might
many
have some
niggas
Timbo.
gonna ride tonight?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
might have had some Timbo.
Yeah,
They might have been all right. They might have been all right.
they might have been alright.
This would have been the part in
Volume 2, they
between,
would have
like
been. Yeah,
if Puff and how much influence Puff would have versus what they wanted to do on the other side. Like,
yeah.
they might have been all right.
I think they would have been alright.
They might have been all right.
You can't.
Especially who they could have been. They was because one thing about Hove, he was always willing to like with Hove, he didn't need to be stuck in a. If he thought the Neptunes was doing it, Neptunes was gonna be doing the track.
Yeah.
Timbo, we're gonna get Timbo. We're gonna go get Just.
He's gonna get the best.
He was gonna go get guys. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to prove it, but if you got it, we can make it happen.
Wherever you was at in your career too.
Yeah,
you up and coming. All right, you got it. You get on the album. If you in the middle of your career, you prime, you on the album. If you coming back, you trying to like, because that's kind of like, I almost want to say that about Blueprint. Like, yeah, a couple like those glue guys, the guys that like, what's the dude name?
Bink.
You say it again?
Bink. Was it Bink?
Bink. Yeah. I keep wanting to say Dan Grease and shit. I'm getting mixed up. But yeah. He had those like guys like that.
Grease might have got a track on. I ain't gonna cut you, but he might have got a track on the
Did
commission.
he? I know he was all over Rough Rider shit. Yeah.
Big might have liked Dame Grease.
Yeah, Big would have. Yeah. No,
Big might have liked
Dame Grease. You said he would have.
Dame Grease might have got a track.
Yes.
At that time,
yeah.
Dame Grease getting the track. Hove might not have liked him. Big would have liked him.
Big would have liked me, bro.
Big would have. But go ahead, continue. I ain't mean to cut you.
No.
I definitely cut you off your Blueprint point. Oh my goodness.
I think he would have had guys like that. No, I don't think they would have been. They would have had problems. Nah, they would have been good. They would have had Hitman filling in tracks, the new up and coming cats who Hove ended up getting on Volume 2, and then you got cats like Vink and Dame Grease. They'd have been good, bro.
Yeah,
that would have been nasty, bro.
Yeah, it was
too good to be true.
Like it just would have been about with the theme. They would have been like, we're gonna go Big Willie style. We're gonna talk about they was gonna rhyme, right? They was gonna rhyme, but like what kind of image? Because that's probably maybe one of the problems with the firm, other than having a lot of hands in the pot. And like, okay, we're gonna go with like a little mafioso, kind of look, and it was like you got to stick the landing on that shit. They didn't really stick the landing.
It wasn't a good place for Dre either, right?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you.
No.
I don't think that hurt him too, right? Because it was like Dre was kind of like
he was in between time,
kind of stuck. You know what I mean? He was trying to get out of Aftermath, and he was trying to get out of Death Row.
He was trying to launch, right?
Launch Aftermath. He was out of Death Row trying to launch Aftermath. It was kind of like it wasn't he hadn't hit his second stride yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he hadn't made Chronic 2001 yet.
Yeah. And after that, he just took off. You know what I mean? He was all over again for him. It was like his second career and shit, you know.
And he probably was trying to do, because remember he made that one song like Been There, Done That. I think he was trying to do a little East Coast. It was like a little different flavor for him. Got back to his roots when he got after that. Because he was trying to mess with Nas. It just never took off. and never took off. Yeah, that commission. Yeah, when you think about it, I think it would have been who they was messing with. I only think it could have been like, okay, when they rhyme, are they gonna be bigger than everybody, or they gonna just get at it? They gonna still have some Give Me the Loot tracks on top of some I Love the Dough. Like how were they gonna blend it? Was it gonna be more like Brooklyn's Finest? They were just, they was basically competing because they would have still been competing.
Yeah, oh hell yeah. Every track.
They would have been competing.
Every track, bro. I'm going at it.
That meant something. They would have been competing.
Yeah.
God, we got the prop, man.
Yeah, bro. We
was better for Hov for his career.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff happened.
Hov carried the torch, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He carried New York, bro. He kept them alive for years. You know what I mean? And
they might have had a Havoc track.
That would have saved a lot of beef too, right? He probably never would have clashed with Mobb Deep, and wouldn't have been no takeover. You know what I mean? Big did have a little thing against Nas and the Wu. Ooh, that would have been tough.
They both had things against Nas.
Because Hov said he was like, let's get him. Yeah. Like Hov wanted all the smoke. You know what I mean? Like, nah, let's get
all the smoke.
He wanted it with Pac. He wanted it with Play Those Who Hate on Me.
At it there, yeah. I might have. It could have killed it, or it could have inflamed that shit, man. I think I'm going to the inflame side. Yeah, because it might have caused other people to think they got to team up.
Damn,
talk about some super teams. It might have been the super team
Cold War, right?
Yeah. So just in New York.
Yeah,
they'd have had to come out, like I said, because they had Unwritten. I remember reading something where it was like I used to love that when the XSL used to do like they do like a story behind an album, right? Mm-hmm. And they did what's the second Biggie album, Life After Death. So they would talk about every song, and it was like what's the RZA joint? Long Kiss Goodnight. And he was like, RZA was like, yeah, I think he was talking about us. Because we damn sure used to throw some jabs at them. Like, yeah, like they was talking about us when he came in because we was sneaking this shit at the time too at him.
I put holes in most. No, wait a minute. No, I'm getting that.
He's like, make your mouthpiece obese like Della Reese. Like probably was coming at us in that one, like, because we snuck in some shots at them.
Man, I got the lettuce in. You turn green like cucumber skin.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the inflamed part about it. We might have actually got a Nas Mobb Deep album going there because they was going at them, so they might have had that. Hell, even at that time, shit, the Boot Camp Clique, Duck Down in them, they was, you know what I'm saying? They was like going that big, and
Death Row East.
Yeah, and then you had even the Roots was trying to get involved, going that big, and fucking J. Rue was going that big. That's what that era was.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaking it in, and then if you can have a crew that you was with and y'all was battling with each other, like,
yeah,
you can't tell me that if they did a for real Locks breakdown, that Kiss wasn't battling Styles and vice versa.
Niggas was going at it, man. Sheik definitely, bro. Yeah, he said it like he's like, I was always trying to air them niggas out. Like she always said that. And I know the Wu had to be going at each other.
Oh, there's no way non
all that arguing and shit on the bus. Remember that shit? What movie was that? You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where he was like, hey,
I love that documentary. It was called.
I remember a Tribe Called. I remember Q-Tip was in there, like
the show.
Dope ass.
The show.
Dope ass documentary.
Yeah, they went at it. Y'all want to show up when I gotta. Yeah. When we in Germany,
y'all niggas need to cut it out. What was that? Golden Arms. Man, motherfucker, shut up. Yeah, whatever. Go Starks is on there.
Yeah, Meth was trying to air niggas out because y'all want to show up when I gotta go do that early morning interview with some German radio station when MTV want to show. Then y'all want to be in my interview. I think niggas was mad at each other.
Hey, telling the truth too.
There's no
niggas out, man.
There's no way that they didn't have, and they wasn't all cool. They was still kind of like a put together group.
Yeah,
it was kind of like it was 9 dudes that were just cool. RZA knew such and such from over there. Yep. RZA knew such and such from over there, and then they all like, we might as well all do something together.
Yo, I didn't watch it. Did you watch the movie?
I never watched the TV show.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah, I never
No,
watched that. I was
I
gonna
didn't
get
watch
involved, and I was like, one day I may.
Yeah.
I think when that dropped, and next week, I think WandaVision might have came out. It was like,
Speaking of,
I might have went.
yeah.